Hi everyone, welcome to this audio tutorial. In the previous videos we've covered the audio basics, audio setup, and talked about some of the audio input settings in vMix. Now we're going to talk about audio outputs, audio monitoring, and how you can route audio in vMix in different ways. If you're only new to vMix and audio, I would definitely recommend to check out the first videos in this series before going any further. vMix gives you the ability to monitor your audio, which is an important feature that helps ensure that your production has great quality audio. Monitoring your audio can be done by using headphones, speakers, or other devices on your computer. In vMix, the monitoring function is just called headphones, but again, it doesn't actually have to use headphones. This is just an easy reference to people using headphones that monitor audio from a sound desk. Plus, it's easier to use a little headphone icon throughout vMix. Now, by default, your master audio from vMix will be heard in your master output device and your headphone device. The master audio is what you use for your stream, record, and external output. However, a lot of the time you don't want to hear all of your inputs together when monitoring. By using the headphones feature in vMix, you can change what is heard on the headphones by turning down or muting different inputs when you're doing your monitoring. In the previous videos, I've talked about the headphones in regards to maybe not hearing your microphone when you do your production. So when we added a new input into vMix, we could choose to turn off that input in the headphones. So I'm going to show you how to do that again now. So if we go to Add Input, and we go to Audio Input here, if I selected an audio device, I can then choose to mute in the headphones, which means that you won't be able to hear your microphone when you're listening to your headphones back or monitoring the audio via a speaker. Now, whenever you see the little headphone icon in vMix, it means that you can control the volume of that input in your headphones, or in fact, mute it in your headphones output entirely. Now I'm going to show you some examples of where you can find that. So if you open up an input here, so say for this video, you'll see these little headphones down here. So this is where you control your monitoring. So you can turn it off entirely in your headphones output, or you can adjust the volume in it as well. By turning on and off the headphone functions for different inputs, you can monitor exactly what you want to in vMix. It means that you can cut out any additional distractions like your own microphone or other audio that you just don't need to hear. Now I'm going to show you where you can set up your headphone output, so you can start monitoring your audio. I'll also talk about how you can route audio in other ways by creating additional audio mixes using audio buses. To do this, we'll need to go to the Settings and then Audio Output section. Okay, so this is the current setup that we have for our production here that we use on our monthly live show. So I'm just going to adjust this back to how it would normally look. Now, by default, you'll see the master output and the headphones use the same device, the default Windows playback device. This is the device that you have set up in your Windows installation to hear your computer's audio. So that means you'll be hearing the master audio that is used in your streams, recording, external output playing on the same device as your headphones. If you want to change this device, it's just a matter of using the drop-down menu and selecting a different option. So as you can see here, I've got a lot of different devices that I can route my audio to. Same for the headphones as well. Now, as you can see here, you can choose a lot of different devices for your master audio and your headphones to be heard on. You might be asking, well, why should I change this device? Well, it's very important to do this in case you want to monitor your audio on two different devices. You can select a different device, perhaps connected to a headphone or a speaker, to monitor certain aspects of your production. I can hear my master audio on one device, but then hear a monitored mix on a different device, like my headphones. Now I'm going to use our live monthly show as an example on how to differentiate between the master output device and the headphones device. So we have our studio PC connected to these two giant TVs in front of me right here. We use one with the vMix interface and the other one for a giant confidence monitor. Now with our audio, if we left the master output and the headphones output on the default Windows playback device, then all of our audio would be playing out through our speakers on the TV, which is not ideal. This means that our microphones, video, sound effects would all be played back to us, making the show very difficult to do. It's very hard trying to do a show and hearing yourself back at the same time. Now we could have just plugged in some headphones and then monitored it that way, but we do want to hear some of the sounds. We don't want our microphones to be heard, but we still want to be able to hear the sound effects and the video noises. I'm sure Martin wouldn't appreciate me doing this throughout the entire show and him not knowing that I'm playing it. Thankfully, we also have great microphones that won't pick up any additional sounds coming from the production, so we can use one of the speakers here. That's something to consider, as you don't want additional noise to be heard back through your microphones from the speaker. Ideally, you'd probably want to use some in-ear headphones that you can listen to throughout your production that nobody else can see. So we have one monitor that's set up to play the audio sounds to us, so our sound effects and that type of thing, and then we use the other TV to monitor our microphones in our production. So we've gone into our audio output settings and we've adjusted where the master audio output goes and where the headphones go. So our setup means that we have our headphones output coming through one TV and then our master audio coming out another TV. So you might be wondering, well, don't you hear all of your audio from the second TV that you have? Well, we've actually plugged in some headphones into the TV so we can listen to our master audio on it. So now I'll quickly show you how we have this set up in vMix. So from our drop-down menu, we have these two monitors here. So these are connected to an HDMI matrix, and I know that these two monitors are listed under 0 and 8. You might have something different set up, so if you've got your monitors plugged into your graphics card, this may say the type of the monitor, and then the NVIDIA.
Better sound, yeah, active.